Alright, so in today's video we are going to make a stakeout anchor mount on my motor mount. I can basically do it right over here. So basically, like this last video or two, I forgot my regular mushroom anchor, which I use as a quick drop to stop me on the flats. When I'm flats fishing, I'll run up, see a bonefish or tarpon, and I need to stop right away. So I usually drop that mushroom anchor, and that works fine. I do have this stakeout anchor, and it is what it is, the 3/4 inch tube there anchor, and in soft sand, pliable bottom, I could shove it into the ground and it'll stop me. That works good. Problem is around the Keys, because it's an island, it's basically just like this. Think the rocks is sand. It's sandy on the top, but as soon as you get below it, then it's hard limestone bottom there, so I can't really pierce it, and then the stakeout anchors don't work. But what I think I could do is to add a mount here, just kind of like a block with a hole drilled into it that's basically the same diameter as this pole here. That'll keep it rigid, and then that I could push down, and it doesn't need to go through the rock. As long as it gets down into a couple inches of sand, that might be enough to kind of wedge it and stop me and allow me to kind of stop a little bit faster, or when I forget my anchor like I do occasionally. So that's what we're going to build today. It's basically a block with a hole drilled in it that I could just slide that anchor pole when I need to stop. I just drop it through the hole, and then even though it's not going all the way down in there, it'll wedge itself against the bottom, and that'll stop the kayak and hold me in place. So basically that's kind of what I want to do. I have a little triangle that's formed with the outrigger, and then there's the A-frame bar that goes across to mount to this. So usually I just put the stakeout anchor in there, wedge it into the sand, and then it'll butt up against part of it, and then that stops it. But with that much flexibility, it allows this to kind of swing around and kind of gets loosened, and it doesn't hold. So that's why I want that mount with a small opening on it that'll kind of wedge it better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I could use just kind of find a block of wood and just make it one piece, but I've got these pieces that I cut off from my live well, I don't know, stand, whatever, walkway there. And these are some of that plastic synthetic wood, and I think these will do a real good job, because wood will end up swelling and contracting and end up cracking, where this stuff is nothing's going to happen to it. But I want it kind of a block form, so I think what I'm going to do is I've got some 2-part epoxy. I'm just going to put 3 of them together to get my block, and then what I'll do is once I've got it glued, I'll cut it so that they're all the same, and then I'm going to make it kind of create an arm so that there'll be bolts that go into my motor mount, so I could bolt into them. There are 2 spots there, or 4 spots, and then I've got some long bolts that I'm going to use to just kind of keep these all together, even though the glue should do it, but this will just be reinforcements for keeping them all together. And then I'll use a 3/4 inch bit to drill the hole, which is, the pole is exactly 3/4, so that should be it. So let me glue this all together and get one block out of it, and then we'll go from there. All right, I went ahead and glued our 3 pieces together. That's all together. Now I'm going to do is to run this on my table saw and get these squared off. So I'm working with basically a squared off chunk. This side is my flat side, but it's got it's actually kind of rounded but flat here, but rounded along these kind of ends here. So I want to cut that off to make it nice and flush. Cut these sides off flush, cut the other side bottom off so it's all flush, so I have just a nice rectangular block. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so I'm working on all 3 pieces in the same plane. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so I cut off the one side, got my straight side here, so I'm going to use that to cut off this kind of rounded edge side, take out that gap. So I'll have to cut off probably about that much there. Move that across. See how far that is. And that should still keep it thick enough. Yeah, let me cut that off real quick. All right, there we go. Got our rectangle. 3 pieces now into one. So this is basically, here's kind of a drawing I made of just initially the basic design with the circle there for the hole to go through. But let me kind of measure this up to see how big I actually need it, and then go from there. All right, so this is what we've got to work with here. This bar will be straight out, so it'll come out from there. So that's why I needed to have that hole kind of out a little way so it clears this part, or this part right here. Then, because of this arm, although and generally this arm won't be in the way because I'll either have it up out of the way, but this arm is still right over it. So I guess I don't have very much room. I have to fit it right here. It has to go in right there. Wow, it's gonna be tight. So I gotta make sure it's kind of accurate. All right. And then I need to make sure that it is this, the hole is this way from here out. So what clearance is that? And it's gotta go straight through here. All right, a bit of a tight squeeze, but we can make it work. Oh, and this will turn so I can get it out of the way. So I guess I shouldn't worry about that. Yeah, so I can just kind of keep it tight in this corner right here. All right, I think we're good. And height-wise, that's perfect with the 3. So I'll give it some meat. It doesn't have to be this wide, so I could probably cut it down, probably about 3/4 of it. So it'll sit in the pocket there. So I'll cut it down to make that a little bit better. I need enough room to leave a couple of wings, which I'll run wood screws through it and then through the motor mount. All right, so let me chop this off about 3/4. All right, so I've got it marked up now. Basically this chunk will be taken out, that chunk will be taken out, and then I'll just leave me this part here. So that will butt up against the wall there, and then I could run bolts through there and through there. So let me chop out these 2 sections, and then we'll go from there. All right, got it notched out there. So that's kind of roughed out. Let's go see how it fits. All right, so that is how it's gonna go. These wings give me something that I could bolt into it, so I could put 3 wood screws through to the actual motor mount there, and then leaves enough meat here for me to drill the 3/4 inch hole. So I think that will work fine. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and drill the 3/4 inch hole in the center. This part, how I have it drilled, is gonna be a little bit more touchy because I don't know the actual angle where it needs to be yet. We've got the mount in the drill press here. We've got a 3/4 inch spade bit. I think we're lined up centered there. Bam. Looks straight enough. So let me go ahead and see how this drills. All right, here goes nothing. Oh. Ooh, I gotta vice that down a bit. All right, take 2. All right, take 2. Is that it? Did it go all the way through? Can't see. Did it go through? No, it's not all the way through. That might be just as far as it can go. All right, third adjustment. All right, one more time. All right, so hopefully this will punch all the way through. Yeah, now we're through. That's the ticket. And we've got our hole. So let's see if it's gonna fit. All right, so here's our pole. Find the hole. Nice. That is perfect. Beautiful. Next up, just got to drill our holes for our mounting. So I've got the backside marked, so I'll just drill holes through there. And these are the screws, wood screws that I'm going to be using. Pump those in there. So let me get those drilled out. Okay, got all the holes drilled. Use my little countersinks and got it there, so it's all set up. That's basically what it's going to look like there. So now it's a matter of mounting it. Now the only issue though is I was just gonna go ahead and dry mount it and just kind of eyeball it. But I think what I'll do is I'll actually take it and put it on the water. I'll just bring my drill and get it all actually set up with the motor on there, the weight, so everything actually lines up, and then I don't have to do this again. And just mount it where it needs to be the first time instead of guessing. But I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit of an angle there, and just got to be run 6 screws, and that'll be it. And that's basically what it's going to be. Slip right in there. But like I said, I just need to get these angles right the first time, so it's going in the water perpendicular and not all jacked up. So on the water we must go. All right, so this is basically what the mount is going to end up being here. Pole just slips in, it's going to go straight down there, and that's the stakeout pole. I think I am going to go ahead and wait before I bolt this in until I get it on the water and I can actually set everything up, and then make sure that the pole is going to sit in perpendicular to the water first time, instead of just guessing right now and then having to take it off and redo everything. So let's go put it in the water. And a bit of a distant shot so you can get the gist of what I'm doing there. But all right, I've got the new mount here. We're on the water. I've got pretty much weighted with the usual amount of stuff that I carry, so I got the weight down. I'm just gonna get situated a little bit deeper so I make sure the motor doesn't touch bottom, and then I can align the mount. and get that guy mounted. So somewhere over there. So let's do that here real quick. All right, so where's a good spot going to be? Don't really have to worry about the arm because I'm not going to be running and gunning when I put this down. So it can pretty much go anywhere. Then when I bring the motor up, yeah, even when I bring the motor up, it's not going to hit it. So I can put it anywhere. I just want to get as vertical as possible. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to get the height that I want it. I'm going to drill, put in one screw, and then that'll allow me to adjust it. But I also have a pan. I just want to see. It seems like it's angled forward. I don't know if I want it angled forward, but I can do it backwards. Oh, that's better. So upside down. Yeah, that's better. Well, that's pretty close to right there. What if I have it butted right against? Right against it. Just down a little bit. Right there. I mean, if it touches the kayak, that's okay. I think that's what we're going to try it at. Right there. All right. All right. Let's get this thing mounted. All right, let's drill some pilot holes here. All right. And then I can just do one and then hit the rest of them. Okay. And right about there. Alrighty. Bam. Alright, let me do the rest. Alright, there you go. Alright, let's test this out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That actually might be okay because that'll keep it wedged. So when I get it into the bottom, we stay. And then when I get it out, and I could just keep it like that. Oh, that works out okay. Just like that. Puts a little bit of flex on my motor mount, so I got to keep an eye on that, but other than that, it's okay. Nice. All right, let's go test it out. All right, I see all those tarpon in the sand there. I don't have my anchor hooked up, but not to worry, I have my stakeout pole. Wedge it down, bam, and I am stopped. And oh, where'd they go? Oh, they're right over there now. And I didn't spook them. Looky there. Just like that. Easy peasy. No more anchors. Alright. Oh, where'd they go? Where did they go? The only thing that it's an issue is I only have one spot to put it, so like the wind is blowing this way, so it's going to blow the front of the kayak this way. I don't really have any controls over the placement, versus with my anchor I have the anchor trolley, so I could do it from the front and to the back, anywhere along there. If I want to, I could just add a little bit more line and just drop the anchor on this side, even though I have it mainly pinned to the anchor trolley there, but I could also just clip it over here. So with the actual anchor, I could put it at whatever angle I want so that I'm facing the correct direction, or the direction that I want. But otherwise, this will work great for that. And then when I'm on the flats, especially fly fishing, I'll have the rods down, so I'm 360 anyways, so it really won't make a difference. But yeah, that is going to work out golden. That might be my new favorite anchoring style. Well, I lost sight of them, but I'm looking into the glare, so I'm going to lift this up. Just so it clears there. And then I'll drift. Oh, I hear them. Hear the gurgle. Slowly, slowly looking, scanning. There was a big old round school of them. Where the heck they go? They might have took off down there. Alright, I'm going to stop here. Anchor deployed. And I'm stopped. Oh, something rolled over there. That might be them. All right, so that is my stakeout pole kayak mount. Very, very happy with it. I think that's going to really improve things by not having to drop that 10-pound mushroom anchor anytime I want to stop. So a lot more stealthy, and allow me to pin even in that hard rock bottom. So going to work out really well. But very happy. The patio workshop tool shop here really was very effective. My shoreline scavenging, I've got a bunch of those simulated wood planks so I could build more stuff with it. But it's just huge having all this equipment. Trying to do even that simple block with a hole drilled in it, doing it by hand would be just such a pain in the butt, and it would just be inaccurate and a hassle. So even though I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, I just kind of like, man, that's just too much work. It's going to be all messed up. But having some clamps to be able to glue it together, being able to cut it with my table saw, the band saw, being able to cut a straight hole or multiple straight holes with the drill press, having the vise there, work table. So all that stuff just makes this kind of stuff possible. So anyways, more videos with the stakeout pole anchor system. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye.